be death. Oh no, it's an invasion of zombies. What shall we do? Let's kill them. Hello, I'm Lushable Echo, and you're watching Minecraft Multiplayer Madness. If you know me, you know that I like to civilize my cave systems after I've fully explored them. And that's what I've done here on our family server. And you might wonder, what do I mean by that? Well, let me show you. I'll just come around here. Now, this tunnel I made links to our cave system that we had, that we explored in the previous episodes, and this is basically what I mean. I basically line the walls with some kind of material like brick to make it look nice. I give it a floor, in this case stone slabs, and then I give some kind of ceiling. And here I've alternated the oak and the birch woods, and then have the pumpkins here, the jack-o'-lanterns, as lighting. And then I kind of sporadically put these paintings in here to brighten the hallway up, because it's a long hallway. And I like to inset them like this just to kind of give it a little bit of depth. So if we come down here to this hallway, actually connected to what was that cave system that we were exploring in the previous episodes. What I did is I ended up filling in a lot of the smaller caves and the caves we weren't going to use, and I just kept what we were going to use. So this offshoot here, if you remember, is actually that little offshoot that went off to that zombie spawner that we found. Now, the way we got here before, it was a very circuitous route, and I just basically cut from that hallway straight through to the spawner, and then I filled in that large route so that it makes it quicker to get there. And this was that very first cave that we explored that was near our base, and I basically squared it off, made it tall enough so I could grow mushrooms in it, and then finished off with the ceiling. And I use the same materials throughout just to give it a continuity. And the only difference here is I use a sandstone floor, which just makes it easier to see the smaller mushrooms when you cut them up. So this, as you tell, this is our mushroom grower room, and the lighting in here is designed so that this middle one is actually lighting of 8, and so that is high enough to not have any monsters spawning, but it's low enough to plant mushrooms. So let me demonstrate. I'll grab one of these red ones here and some oatmeal. I'll go ahead and plant it. As you can see, it stays planted because it's low enough light level, and then I'll just make it grow, and ooh, it always does that. And there we go, I've got myself a nice red mushroom. So that's our mushroom growing room, and it also works for the brown ones. Then let me come up here and come around. Now this is, like I said, that zombie spawner. We use this as our XP farm. We have a supply of stone swords here to, actually that one's almost dead, so I'll grab another one to beat the zombies with. Then, as the sign says, you activate for zombie invasion. So let's do that. I'll just kind of turn here so you can see what happens. All right, and there they are. Now, for some reason, it takes a while for the zombies to notice me and then kind of head my way. But oh, there we go. Here we got our first victim. So the water will propel him down, and as you can see, he's trying to get away from me, but he can't. And I just, at my leisure, kill them and collect the XP and anything else that they might drop. So it's pretty cool, pretty straightforward. Alright, so let me turn that off. Now, when you do that, sometimes there might be one or two zombies left over, but that's okay. But anyways, let me show you how this is set up. I'm gonna come down here, and nope, no leftovers. Good. Now, as you can see, I've got two pistons. Let's get back. There we go. I got two pistons, and they're both holding back water blocks. So basically, when they close, that's what makes the water flow, and it'll flow to here. And then because water heads towards the nearest hole, both of these will flow through to here and then down the middle, as well as down the sides, to make that three wide flow of water. And then I have jack-o'-lanterns that are inset by one block all the way around. That gives enough light to deactivate the spawner. And then I have sticky pistons which move this block in front or to the side to block or let light in based on the position of that switch. So it's actually pretty simple. And then I just have these cobblestone blocks to direct the flow of water to make sure it goes that way and not that way, pushing the zombies away. So I'll just come back down here, and I took one of my cobblestone blocks, but I'll just put a dirt block there for now. And then put this back, and the water flow, of course, is held back by the stone pressure plate. So now you might wonder, how is this actually hooked up? Well, let me show you. Alright, so I've cleared a path, and I am ready to show you the wiring. Okay, so the lever is on this block here. So, as you can see, when I activate the lever, that'll power this block, which will then power all this redstone here. And I just laid it out in a straight line, coming around here. Nothing fancy, and then it splits. Now, as you can see, this is one of the pistons holding back the water. And the way this works is that I put a redstone torch here, which is normally always on. Unless there's power going to it, then it's off. But because there's no power going to it right now, it's on, which then activates the piston, which opens it, which holds back the water. When I activate the lever, the power will come around through here and into this block, powering this block. When it powers this block, it's going to power this redstone torch, turning it off, which will then turn off this piston, which will close it, which will then allow the water to flow. So that's how that works. And then I split here, and I go a few more, and then this is about 14 blocks. So then I put in a repeater, so that allows the power to continue. Because as we all know, redstone is only powered for I think 14 or 15 blocks. I'm not sure exactly what, but I'm sure it's about that. So I put in the repeater to continue the strength of the power. And it comes along here, and now we have another split. Now this goes up along these blocks, and it actually brings power to this block right here, which is right beside one of the pistons for the jack-o'-lanterns. So I actually take that away. There it is. You can see the piston. So basically power comes around here, up here, powering this block, which then powers that piston. And then that piston will then push the other block forward and block the light from the jack-o'-lantern. Okay, and then this one just comes around, bringing power around this way. And again, because that's like 14 blocks, I add another repeater, and then we have another split. And same thing, this goes to this block, which then powers the piston, the sticky piston, which will open and close that block, or move that block to block the light or let the light in. And then we just follow the path along here as well again. And again, we need the repeater to continue the power. And we have another split, and same thing. This is that third jack-o'-lantern with the sticky piston. And then we come along here finally, and this is that last, and we just kind of do a zigzag here, and that's just to make sure I get the redstone wiring going the way I want it to go. And this is again that other sticky piston, or not, sorry, the regular piston, which is holding back the water. And it's the same thing when power goes to the torch, it goes off, closing this piston, letting the water out. So that's basically it. It's pretty simple redstone wiring. This is like probably, you know, redstone 101. This is probably as simple as you can get, pretty much. But all the basics are here. So if you know you were curious about redstone wiring and didn't really know how that worked, hopefully that was able to help you a little bit. And let me just flip the switch again, right? And let's just follow the power. So from this block around, and then see the redstone torch is turned off now, which closed the piston, which let the water through. And then see this repeater lets the power go through. And this one brought power to that block, which pushed that piston open, which closed the light, and so forth. So it goes around that same way. So that's the basic wiring design. It's simple but elegant, I think. And oh, we've got some zombies to kill. Let me grab my stone sword here. And let's see if we can kill these guys. Yeah. Right. See, now for some reason, sometimes they get stuck up there. They don't see me or whatever. I don't know. And then all of a sudden, boop, there they go. So it's kind of interesting. Oh, now I need another stone sword. And there we go. Okay, let me just stop the zombie invasion. And okay, you have to get this guy. So now, so I've got a couple leftovers there, so I'm gonna have to. Let's see. Come on, get over here. You know you want to. Okay, well let's take care of them the old-fashioned way, I guess. Going after them. There we go, now he saw me. So it's not perfect. It might need a little bit of work, but this is basically just a little redstone experiment for me. Because this is the first time I've worked with redstone. I haven't really worked with it before. So I just wanted something simple to try out and see how it would work. And it actually worked better than I was expecting. So that's pretty cool. Right, so let's continue our tour, shall we? Now what I want to do is show you, now if you remember from that cave that we were exploring, it came down a little bit and we had that drop that we built. Well, this again is that civilized version of that. Here's that drop which goes down, and this is that ravine, that first ravine that we found. Now this is all lit up. Now this is what I like to do with the ravines. Again, I've started civilizing this ravine here. And so now I can do what I want here. I can make homes for villagers if I want, or I can do branch mining here, or whatever I feel like I want to do. But basically I lay the floor with glass blocks. That way it allows me to maintain the prettiness of the ravine, or at least the architecture of the ravine, and it allows me to see what I have and have not lit up. And then I basically go along as I'm placing blocks, lighting up the area and collecting any resources I need to collect. So it's just what I've done on this level, and this goes all the way to the end of the ravine. And if you look down here, you can see I've actually done this a whole second level. I'm currently working on the third level of glass floors. And what I tend to do is I pick a spot like here on the top, which is, you know, near the top and a good place to start. Then for my next course of blocks, I like to go 4 down from the previous. So here we go, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then on the 5th block, I start laying out my floor again. This is just a little cave that I found that I kind of explored. It's nothing fancy, nothing special in here. I'll probably end up just filling this place up, just to get it out of the way. I don't like having caves that go nowhere and then I end up getting lost going into caves that go nowhere. So I'll just fill that up and then that won't happen. And this is that second course that I created. And same thing, I lit it up and I collected any iron and coal and whatever resources I could find. And you can still see what I haven't lit up. And this glass floor still maintains the integrity of the ravine. So I kind of like it. And there's a spider down there. Hey, Mr. Spider, how's it going? Oh, that's good. Okay. All right, let's. And that's kind of basically civilizing caves 101, or civilizing caves in a nutshell. This is what I do once I've lit up a cave and gathered the resources. And I just want to kind of make them look pretty, and I fill in all weaving dead ends to make it easier to make my way through the caves and not to get lost. And as you can see, it's very hard to get lost now because you only really have one way to go. So this is what I'm going to do with the rest of the caves. I've only just started. And as I was civilizing, I found this lava pool over here. I'm not going to bother doing civilizing this area because once we use up this lava, and I'll probably just end up using it for cooking glass or whatever, I'll just fill this all in and it will be like it was never here. So I hope you enjoyed that. And yeah, this is what I mean when I say I civilize caves. And on these pictures on the Svex pack are just epic. I love them. Just great. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. So, if you remember a while back,